Hesitation appears in ordinary moments. It shows before decisions, not after. It is visible in how time is handled. Speech pauses where completion is expected. Responses begin, then stop. Sentences lose momentum mid-delivery. In group settings, the pattern repeats. A question is received. The answer delays. Eye contact breaks. The floor shifts to someone else. The moment passes without conflict. In professional environments, the same behavior appears. Meetings move forward while one presence remains suspended. Hands hover above notes or keyboards. A contribution is prepared, then withheld. Opportunities expire quietly. In social exchanges, the delay remains consistent. Invitations are acknowledged without confirmation. Replies arrive late and stripped of urgency. Plans remain tentative until they dissolve. During disagreement, the pattern tightens. Words are selected slowly. Statements soften before they land. Silence replaces closure. The body mirrors the delay. Posture holds without commitment. Gestures begin and retract. Breathing adjusts during pauses. This behavior is not confined to a single role. It appears in leadership positions. It appears in subordinate roles. It appears among peers. The setting changes. The sequence does not. Initiation stalls. Continuation falters. Across conversations, actions, and decisions, the same timing emerges. Moments requiring completion extend beyond their window. Others move ahead. The space closes. What remains is a consistent absence of follow-through, not refusal, not conflict, a visible delay that repeats. The behavior does not fluctuate. It repeats across days. It repeats across weeks. It does not correct with familiarity. Early exposure does not reduce it. Extended exposure does not remove it. The delay remains intact over time. Role changes do not alter the sequence. Authority does not accelerate response. Subordination does not remove the pause. Peer status produces the same timing. Low-pressure moments show it clearly. High-pressure moments compress it, but do not eliminate it. The hesitation shortens, then reappears. Speed is inconsistent. The pattern is not. When attention is minimal, initiation still slows. When attention increases, initiation still slows. Visibility does not resolve it. Repetition of the same task does not change the outcome. Familiar formats do not smooth delivery. The first response and the 10th response share the same delay. The behavior appears before evaluation. It appears before consequence. Silence occupies the same position each time. Between signal and response, between prompt and completion, the environment may shift. The structure holds. Interruptions do not cause it. Interruptions do not remove it. The pause persists regardless of continuity. Speed around the individual may increase. Decisions may compress around them. Their timing does not synchronize. The same restraint appears under observation. It appears without observation. This is not episodic. It does not spike and fade. It stabilizes. The delay becomes predictable. Others adjust to it without comment. What presents is consistency. Across time, across role, across pressure, the behavior functions as a fixed feature. Not an event, not a reaction, a repeated delay that holds its shape. The behavior is given neutral labels. It is called composure. It is called restraint. It is called emotional control. Observers read the pauses as discipline. Silence is taken as deliberation. Delay is interpreted as careful judgment. In group settings, the absence of speed is reframed, not as absence, as maturity. The individual receives the same interpretation. The delay is self-described as thoughtfulness. The stall is treated as intentional pacing. When responses arrive late, they are defended internally, not rushed, measured. When opportunities pass, the loss is minimized. Timing is dismissed as secondary. Control is emphasized instead. This interpretation holds because it sounds functional. Control is valued. Restraint is rewarded. The lack of immediacy is not challenged, it is admired. Others adjust their expectations quietly. They speak sooner, they close decisions faster, they do not name the difference. The individual accepts the external framing. The self-image remains intact. Calm replaces urgency. Silence becomes a trait, not a gap. Even discomfort is reclassified. Inner pressure is renamed steadiness. Social friction is renamed neutrality. The pattern avoids scrutiny through language. Labels soften what is observed. Nothing appears broken. Nothing appears urgent. The misreading stabilizes the behavior. It delays recognition. What remains is a shared assumption. That delay equals control. That hesitation signals balance. The interpretation feels accurate. It feels reasonable. It feels complete. The behavior requires a different name. Not restraint, not control. It is visible in decision. It presents as delay at the point of execution, not refusal, not opposition. Speech begins without landing. Action approaches without crossing. The defining feature is interruption of completion. Initiation occurs. Continuation weakens. This is not silence. Silence is stable. This is suspended response. It is not deliberation. Deliberation concludes. This remains open. The pattern holds a decision in partial form, neither absent nor expressed. The pause is not neutral. It occupies space without resolving it. This behavior can be named accurately: response inhibition without closure. It appears calm. It feels controlled. It functions as delay. The individual is present. The response is incomplete. What is observed is hesitation as a structural pattern, a repeated interruption between intent and release. It is not timing preference. It is timing failure. The behavior stabilizes as a recognizable feature. Others anticipate it. The environment adjusts around it. The name clarifies the pattern, nothing more. It does not assign motive. It does not assign fault. It identifies the form, visible indecision. The pattern does not announce itself. It settles. Inner pressure accumulates without release, not expressed, not resolved. Social spaces register the delay. Silences lengthen. Coordination becomes uneven. Others compensate without remark. The behavior leaves no rupture, only small distortions in timing. Moments slip. Edges soften. Nothing collapses. Nothing corrects. The individual remains present. Participation remains partial. Discomfort circulates quietly. It is felt. It is not named. The environment adapts. Pace shifts around the delay. Decisions route elsewhere. No confrontation occurs. No correction arrives. Over time, the pattern holds its place. It becomes expected. It becomes invisible through familiarity. What is carried internally does not exit. What is withheld externally does not return. The behavior persists without escalation, without resolution. The costs do not announce themselves. They accumulate in alignment, not impact. Nothing forces a conclusion. Nothing interrupts the structure. What remains is tension without endpoint, a pattern observed, a name applied, no closure offered.